Hello guys, this is Doctorbass. So tonight I thought I would share a great method that I found to repair a W7 from GL Audio. So as many already know, there's not a lot of parts that are sold for repairing these, except that you have to send your subwoofer to GL Audio and they will repair it for you at higher cost. So that is not acceptable for a DIY person like me, so one of the solution is to repair. But the problem is that on this subwoofer, which is a 8W7, I got it from eBay, but it was defective. The spider was broken. I tried to repair it with polyurethane, and it was not effective enough. And the coil was not centered and everything. So I thought I will buy a new subwoofer, well, a used subwoofer that is broken, that will have the spider for replacement. And that's what I did. Just let me show you some example of this spider here. So you see there's the coil, and you know what? This coil is burned. And, well, not burned, but it suffered a little bit. And the ohmic value is not, it's a little bit higher than normal, so I think it's a little bit affected. This is the spacer for the coil that I still inside. So I thought, okay, maybe what's the best choice is to use the parts from the broken subwoofer, the other one. So I will show you. So you see, and I even tried to use you see this method for repairing the spider, but it was not effective enough, and it took a lot of patience because I had to do this from here and from the little space here when you remove the surround here. Okay, so you see it's giving you a good example of the surround actually, with this kind of holder and the glue here that went to this part as I removed. So let me show you the other example. So this is my actual subwoofer here, and I have a plan for another one. So let's go to the next one. Alright, okay, so what you see actually is the one that I got that was broken. In fact, it was the surround that was broke, and the spider was very nice. So instead of using the older coil that was damaged and try to remove that spider with some solvent for dissolving the glue here, which is a real mess and doesn't work a lot, I thought, okay, I will use the new one, subwoofer that I got, which had the bad surround, and I will glue it to it. The problem is, as you know, to align properly those subs that have very high stroke, you have to be very careful and precise. And the problem is that if you do the method that is already published on the internet and on some video that I saw, that you just put some glue here, put your surround, and push below here, the problem is that the alignment this way is not, you know, you might just glue your subwoofer a little bit on the left or on a bit on the right, and it will not be properly aligned. It will glue and still look perfect, and when it get a lot of stroke, it will just rub some time on the magnet, and this is not acceptable. That surround cost me like $50 with the glue, and don't want to spend one more again. So what I choose is to use a laser beam that you can see here, and to measure actually the total movement in the angular movement that this subwoofer is having. So I've used a little piece of metal with a edge mirror and a small laser with a power supply. So what it does, it's going exactly here, and it bounces straight. And it's very important to have the equal amount of movement on both sides and the amplitude of the beam. So the beam actually goes to the roof. Here I've installed a glass part which will reflect like 4% of the light, and it goes to this area here where I have marked the limit. When I move the coil here, we'll see the laser beam is going this way, and it's going exactly like this. So the idea behind that is to find what is the middle of that. So by moving the sub a little bit on each side this way, you know, like this way, and this way and mark those limits here, I will be able to find exactly the center alignment for the perfect angle of this one. And I will mark it, and when I will glue it here, I will push it the same way as I used on the other video for repairing W7 subs, but I will be very careful to make sure that the laser is still aligned on the center here, and that's what I will do. So let's try it. Okay, so now what I did to have you to look better at the laser spot here is that I've used a black surface because the white surface was overexposing the camera and it was not able to see the beam correctly to show you. So you see the subwoofer here and the laser beam. And by the way, this is a laser, this is a 5 milliwatt laser, and it's still dangerous for your eyes. So if you buy one on Amazon like for a few dollars, even if it's cheap, that doesn't mean it's not powerful. So be careful to not have your eyes straight on the laser here, because you will have your eyes damaged, or you know, not responsible for that. So next step for me is to measure halfway distance and to place this little dot here. So it's exactly 7 centimeters. So what I will do is that I will place the dot at 3.5 middle way here, and the other distance here it's 92 millimeters. So yeah, I'm in millimeter because it's in Canada, so it's metric. Alright guys, so 92 millimeters, which mean 46, and by the way, I'm just a little bit off, so I will use, and I will put it on the same height, but with 46 millimeter here, exactly, and it matched. So that's my goal. My goal is to glue that woofer and make sure that the red dot is exactly centered here. So I will just make sure that I can hit. So yeah, you see, if I move the coil, I see that there's limitation here. That's when it goes on one side, the other side, and that's a angular adjustment. That is not a centering adjustment, because the centering is already done by the spider. But if you can guarantee that your angle is perfectly straight and that the spider is centered, you're guaranteed that you will be at the best spot. So here you can see everything is nice, and I can go here. That will be the most difficult part, because I never use that glue here that come with the surround. So next step, prepare that. So let's see. Alright, so the glue is applied, and I'm just a little bit disappointed because this is just regular contact glue, like any kind of glue that you will find in your hardware store. So I thought it was a black glue. It's just in fact a transparent glue, the very common contact glue that is well known. So I could have bought it at the hardware store for cheaper. Anyway, so the glue is applied. I let it to evaporate a little bit, to have the solvent evaporate and to get it a little bit sticky. And now it's time to make the job and align that point while I glue that surround. So let's go. So the surround is installed, and it's now time to align that exactly this way. And what I will do is I will install this one the opposite. Oh no, that's not a good idea to install that surround, not right now. And I will just lift a little bit, and now since it's lift, I hold it in place while it's centered. Not an easy job, but it's time to push on the woofer, on the cone I mean. And make sure that when I release it, it remains centered. So you have to take care to not lift it too much, otherwise you will lift the surround too much and it will just pop off the frame of the woofer. So now you see it's pretty well aligned. So it's now time to have it this way. But what I see is that if I go this way, I will have to hold it for a lot of time because it's it's contact glue, you see. So what I will do is that I will pause it, wait a little bit until it very dry a little bit, and then we'll come back. Alright, so it seems to go very well. So you see that's the actual precision that I have with the laser. And I thought about something. You know, a lot of people say, okay, so hold the cone and push it just a little bit up so you get the good contact here. So I won't wait for hours with that. I know it's contact glue, but you know, it's important to still hold the pressure on it. Why not using the voice coil and a power supply at, low power? You know, so actually I'm at about 1.5 volt at 0.5 amp, and that current of 0.5 amp lifts the cone just enough so that the contact is very well done here. So guys, instead of spending hours waiting with your sub holding the cone, just use a standard lab power supply, any kind of power supply that you can adjust the current and the voltage, and you'll get that. So you see it's glued pretty well, you know. Not really satisfied because, you know, that surround had an offset. It's cut a little bit larger here than here, and I think the center had a little bit offset too. So that's why I have a gap here, a little bit gap, and not here. So, well, it's centered actually. And what I like is that I can play with the current and see if it keeps straight, you know. So I see if it moves a little bit, and it seems that playing with the height, the z-axis, won't move that dot too much. So it means that it's remained perfectly in the alignment. So it's working well, and well, I will leave it a couple of hours and then we'll come back to you with the result. Now the woofer has been properly glued. I've added some glue on the very edge here, on the thickness of the foam here, not on the top, because I will add the kind of a cover, not the dust cap, but the cover here. And I want that surface to be very flat. So yeah, it went very well, and just to let you know, you see, when I touch a little bit, yeah, so that's just the right amount of pressure that the cone need to apply to the foam here. So now this video is getting a little bit long, so I will make a part 2 of the result, because I will let it dry for a couple of days, because it needs a couple of days, and then I will add this one and glue on this part and this part, and we'll do a full stroke test to make sure that the voice coil is properly aligned. So I hope you appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see us for part 2.